Can all the potential for our breathing space be dynamic and moving? Can we breathe in every single direction? Let's have a before observation briefly. Just lying down, and you rock the hips side to side. And as you push that back belt loop over to one side, back belt loop goes to the right. Could you breathe into the left ribs, left back ribs? And as the back belt loop goes over to the left, letting the head just roll a little bit if it needs to. Okay, just sort of notice, how are those left back ribs and right back ribs moving with the breathing? Even right here, just a nice symmetrical breath in, breathing both sides at the same time. And do those ribs know how to push into the body? Can they squeeze the air out? Is it there, and is it part of your repertoire, or do you have a limited breathing repertoire? Okay, we want to have the full potential for breathing. That's what it's about. And we lose it because of all the, pardon me, but all the bullshit of life. That is our reactions to all the difficulties and challenges of life, be it injury or stress or whatever else life projects and places upon you. That's where the system learns how to hold us tight. So, that's our breathing observation. And here's the position. That lower leg is straight down the mat, and the upper knee is the outrigger, and I'm going to be on my elbow right here. That's it. And a little bit, I might move that elbow a little bit further back, so it feels like my system, the gravity's trying to pull me forward. Yeah, that. And here's the movement. We're just coming on up. And, if you want, your hand could lift the head. That's a nice way to do it. Or the head could lift the hand. You decide. That's not so bad. Maybe let's try this. Hand lifts head, but then the hand is going to be the load, and the head is going to slow that arm down. And now here, lower shoulder goes back as upper shoulder comes forward and down, slow, it's twisting. That the floor is pushing your elbow back. Just rest into that, surrender into that. Okay, here, hand lifts head, or I don't know. I'm gonna have my ribs and my shoulder are lifting the head and the elbow. So close it up, squeeze the air out of that. Can you yawn that line of the back? That's it. Or just feel that yawning sensation. Where's it missing? Fine tune it to close the one spot that needs to be closed. Okay. And find your breathing cycles. Let's lower in steps. A little breathing cycle at every pause. Slower a little bit. Breathing cycle. Lower a little bit. Breathing cycle. Lower a little bit. Breathing cycle. Let that just melt off of you. Lower shoulders pushed back and up by the elbow. Could you enjoy that openness? Could you claim that openness for a breath? Squeezing the air out. Those back ribs close. Even breathe the front open to twist you a little bit more. That. Closing. Relax out of that. Easy, easy, easy. Could you savor every little bit of opening? Is it just the upper that's twisting? Is the middle of those ribs? Is the lower ribs? Is the thoracolumbar section of the torso where the low back meets the ribs? Is that allowing you to twist? All the way, breathe it open. Yeah, that. Again, one last time, I just love these twisting movements because twisting and side bending, they go together, and here the back of the body's contracting and the front of the body's pushing that elbow forward. And now the front line to that lower shoulder and the lower shoulder, that's opening, and the back line is opening. These beautiful twisting, it's like a tornado that goes up the body. It's like a double helix in this grand scale, continues as a pattern through our body. The double helix of rotation. What a beautiful, beautiful thing to experience. And it's breathing. The exhale, and then the breathing in. Maybe one long breath with me. Slow, slow. Yeah, that. Okay. Lie down. Forehead on back of hands, and just see what you got now. Okay. Let's think about that back rib diagonal. Breathing that open, the focus diagonal that we just did. For me, it's on my left side. Breathe with that line. We're breathing low back or away from shoulder, is it? Or back pocket away from shoulder. Claim that whole line and closing it on up. What do you learn? What do you know? Do you know perfectly that line is breathing? The breath just fills in the space. The lungs are the shape of the ribs. That's really cool. Breathing is movement. You got to be able to move things to breathe. And when we're first stuck, well, we're going to be stuck. Your system knows how to keep you stuck. And here, same position. Now, if I want more twist, I would maybe bring my knee a little bit closer to me, because that makes it more distance from this upper shoulder coming forward. Just find a good place. You could be here and you could lower down all the way to the floor, but I like having some room. I'm going to bring that knee a little bit closer. And here we are. Oh, yeah. In fact, there's lots of movements for this lower side. You could arch, and we do a whole bunch of things for that, but we're not going to do that right now. Head just rests on that shoulder. Find a good place for that elbow to be, that it can just rest, and you can rest on that, and it's not a lot of work for your shoulder. Okay? So here, lowering slow. And this side, I know my brain likes to do the side that really needs it second. It says, oh, the first side could probably do it, but I don't know if the second side knows how. Okay, it's okay for it not to be like the first side. And we're just coming on up. Let's have that hand lift the head gentle. Help it out, help it out, help it out. And we're just lowering down easy, easy, easy. Let the shoulder moves back as this upper shoulder comes forward. Just let that twist. We're in the torso. Where is it not twisting? Let gravity just take you. Pushing against gravity again. We're coming on up. I'm twisting. Find that. What pushes that lower shoulder forward and the upper shoulder back. And then use that knee as an outrigger. Make the knee hold you as an outrigger. Lowering slow, the twisting. Breathe it open a little bit. Then, breathe it open. Breathe it open. Coming on up easy. Torso pushes shoulder and elbow firmly down into the mat. You're powerful. Be powerful in that position of torso pushing shoulder that pushes arm. Well, here now the mat gets to push that shoulder back up. That lower shoulder's being pushed back, and just really let that torso twist and roll. Breathing into that opening line. Breathe into the opening line. Exhale, closing the opening line. Maybe the last one. Oh, yeah, close it and squeeze every drop of air out as you push those ribs down toward the floor, those back ribs. Close them up and let them open, slow, slow, slow. That lower shoulder pushes back, fall forward in front of the lower shoulder, slow. Just let it go. That's it. Just resting. Come back to rest. Forehead on back of hands. Yeah, that. It's harder than I thought, actually, that second side for me. Okay, you want to be gentle on that lower shoulder. And I invite you to be gentle with yourself. These are more advanced movements. Now, take that second side, the second diagonal up the back. Close it on up. Really squeeze the air out. If you're going to close that line, you know that line now. How do you push your body forward into the mat to use that line to close? Squeeze the air out of that line. Breath in. Again, closing it on up. Where's that place? Push in the direction. Find exactly that rib space that needs to close. Take control of the closing. Hold, pause. Make an intentional start of the breath in. Like it's your first breath. We're going to close again. Squeeze the air out. It's like you're just born. Squeeze the air out. Okay? It's all squeezed out of you. Hold it. And when you're ready, decide to take the breath in. Man, is that line breathing? Is that breathing space? What does it take to claim the space? It's your entitlement. It's your right to have that breathing space. Rock the hips side to side and see what you've got. I'm Eric Cooper, InspireSomatics.com. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. Blessings on your journey.